can introduce yourself as a group or individually, whichever one you prefer.
Okay, bet. When do we start?
Right now.
Oh shit. Alright, we the Globies, the Global Degenerates.
I go by the name of Arcade. You know what I mean? 609 shit.
High as fuck right now. My name is Don John. Jersey shit.
I'm sober as fuck right now. I'm the Villa, Dia Vila, El Avila.
So I just have some questions. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
We got some answers.
Period. I hope so. I really do. So the first video I watched from y'all, I actually posted it. It was a really cool video for cinema, and I was wondering what was the inspiration behind the visuals for that video. It was super trippy.
Shit. Yo, honestly, we it was kind of crazy because like one day this videographer, Uncle Luke, who was pretty tapped in the industry, he's worked with some people in the industry already. He had this song, which is Cinema, on his story. He was like working out to it, and from that he actually followed us, and it was a pretty cool feeling to know like someone up there is like fucking with our music. So one day I think Arcade hit him up and said if he would be down to shoot a video. He tossed us a really cool price, and we did the 18-hour drive all the way to Miami.
Yeah, that shit was long as hell.
Yeah.
Long ass drive.
It's a fucking road trip. It took like 2 days.
Comfortable ass seats, like.
Yeah.
But that shit was a fun ass journey though. Just like, you know, passing each state and, you know, just like seeing like the different parts of Florida, like, you know, that shit was beautiful for real.
Yeah, when we got there, we kind of like, we didn't really have a vision. We just knew kind of like what we wanted the fits to look like and the color scheme. But other than that, we told him just take creative direction. So we kind of trusted him.
Yeah,
with his work.
I was fucking with Luke for like a long time because this DMV artist Sir EU, he has worked with him recently, or not recently, but in the past. They made this video called Nike Boy, and it was about like 10 years ago. But like that shit left like a huge like impact on like shit I see in music and like what I like in music. So like, you know, to find him again like years later and like work with him was like some crazy shit, like for me, for real.
Thanks.
I think part of the inspiration too for the video was probably just having somebody that we've heard about all individually on our own. Like I've heard of him from like Future's like music video Trap Niggas, and then I remember he did like a bunch of videos from this artist named KP. Shout out KP. He's actually from me and David's hometown.
Yeah,
Shout out KP.
He did a music video with him, and then I was like, oh, this guy, he's really fire. And then they came all back around, you know, just like 360, and he liked our song. So then I think the inspiration really came from him discovering that song and then taking a chance with us and just trying to like work on something fresh and new. But that sound is kind of like different. Like I want, like, you know, it kind of like the way that everything came through. The video exemplifies like how like our vision for that sound. You know, very distorted, very trippy. Also, like you get to see things clearly when you do it. I don't know. I think a lot of it has to do with just the moment. You know, him finding that song and then us deciding to take that trip.
Speaking of sound, how would you describe your sound?
It's really alternative. You know, it's really like how bro said, it's like really momentary. It's really what we feel in that moment. And like, yo, I want to make a song like this. I want to make a song like this. That's why we're really global. It's just not like one specific sound. We like to experiment a lot. Our first EP was like a lot of that like trap rage type of sound, and then we dropped our first album was more like, what would you say more?
I would say it's like trippy rap. I don't know, like,
yeah,
like psychedelic.
It was psychedelic. Yeah, that first album we put out, which is called Off 3, was more of like a psychedelic sound. And then we continued that with our second album, which is called New Genesis. I forgot the name. It's New Genesis, and that was kind of a combination of everything we love. Like, you know, we had some like rap in there, boom bap, hip hop,
Some hype shit, some
we had
hot
some
shit.
hype, yeah, some of the little bit of the rage shit,
experimental slow shit, like
yeah. So we called it New Genesis because we were like, okay, this is like a whole new wave that we're bringing. You know what I mean? Like, I think we're still developing and like a sound that would be like, okay, this is Global Degenerates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think we're building our sound more than anything right now in this like current moment. But if I were to think of a word to describe our sound, it'd probably be like a renaissance, like something that's like not normally heard, but at the same time it has a lot of core of hip hop and like.
Yeah, 'cause every time we perform, people are like, "What the fuck?" Like we get a like strange reaction every time we perform.
Yeah.
Like all the shows we performed at, and especially like in New York, like most niggas are like, "Yo, what just happened?" You know, they're like, "Who are these people?"
Because they didn't expect it. You know, they don't expect
It's like a burst.
Yeah, it really is a burst.
So, I don't know. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you can't really like put your finger on it.
it's global. You know.
Oh shit.
Period. So your album New Genesis dropped August last year. What was the process like creating that? I feel like you guys kind of talked about it a little bit, but if you could expand.
That shit took like probably like it was like over a span of 8 months. Because we had some songs we made and like, oh, this should be for the album, and then some we're like, because we all like our own individual artists, so we all work on our own stuff. Sometimes we take a break from it, and then Bro Arcade wanted to make sure the beats were gonna be ours, so he went through the process of just like buying them and hitting up some producers and getting it from them. So it was really like a long process trying to develop like the perfect combination of songs and beats and whatnot.
Yeah, because I feel like we remade New Genesis like 3 times.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mixed that shit. Like we mixed the whole thing like 4 times. Because sometimes we listen to it like, oh no, like I learned new mixing techniques. So like I want to make it sound better.
Just a little.
And then we were listening to it, and we're like, wait, why does the old sound better than the news? And we're like, all right, we gotta like meet somewhere in the middle, you know. So like I was still like in the learning process of my engineering. So there's some times where we just have to remix a song or redo this or redo that, you know. Especially with 3 heads, when you're trying to get everyone on the same boat, you know. Sometimes it'll take a little bit because everyone
has different schedules and shit.
Yeah, and everyone has different like, you know, have different opinions on certain things. So we always want to make sure we all agree on something before it's out.
Yeah.
Or,
We move on type shit.
I think a lot of the process also was like in our album we have a lot of like features in that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
This is our most stacked feature like project. There are like 4 features, right?
Type shit.
I think so,
Right,
yeah.
like 3 or something. I don't know, but it's like shout out to Derek, shout out to Lunchbox, shout out to Trippy the Kid.
Lunchbox.
Yeah, like we just expanded our I think we expanded our reach by getting these kinds of like features. I feel like a lot of them are in the stratosphere that we want to be at right now. So being kind of like making those kind of moves and you know making music with them was perfect for the album.
Yeah, it was a little process, but it was we were like playing chess basically.
Yeah.
And shout out to Trippy the Kid for real. Like he's a really genuine dude. Shout out Lunchbox too. Like you know.
Yeah, we even had some issues. Like we had a song with Polo Perks on there too, but then some shit happening with like the beat and the like. I think it was like
just the whole process of it was kind of.
So we had to like wait. We had to delay the project again and whatnot.
But it all worked out on that. So you know what I mean.
That was our first week.
Yeah, first
Yeah,
type
Polo.
shit.
Yeah.
That's some crazy lore.
Yeah. Facts. It gets crazy.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
My last question is there any plan to drop a new project as a group or individually or?
I think right now we're all kind of working on our individual projects, but we have like singles that are like we have like stuff in the archives that are like scheduled out.
Ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. And then for the next project, we kind of want to take it more with like stick to home base and kind of produce it ourselves, and or our homies help produce as well.
Like more close knit.
We're trying to make it just our sound.
We do want to build like a solid fan base before we drop the next project, because we want to make sure it gets the love it deserves. We have the tendency of like dropping stuff and then like we forget about it a little bit.
Marketing.
And then marketing. Yeah. Marketing is like our weakest point right now, but people love the music, so we definitely want to keep it going. You know, I don't think there's any reason for us to stop right now.
Answer the last question.
You kind of did.
What was the last question?
If you have any plan to drop new music as a group or individually.
We're gonna drop together still. We're just working on our own shit. We're trying to make it in-house everything. So once we have new music, you go hear it. It's gonna be fresh.
Yeah,
it's
thanks.
gonna be sincere. It's gonna be real.
Fresh.
Facts.
Here.
And degenerate. And global.
Movies. We have our website, globaldegenerates.com. That's under development. We have these like
Merchandise.
we got the merch,
Have the link to the music.
We got hats,
Spotify,
Website.
Apple Music. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you.
And then we got these like animated cartoons called the Globies that are basically on the shirt. We got plushies coming soon.
Shirts coming
Trying to get a little
soon.
cartoon.
Animations coming soon.
All that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
Shout out
Super Graphics. Shout out Shogun, man. It's been
I ain't even ended the interview. I can roll it up. What up though, y'all? Shout out Super Graphic. You know what it is.
I feel like this is kind of like getting us deeper into the culture by meeting Shogun and then meeting everyone else part of Kaleidoscope. So I feel like it's going to be a brand new journey that we're about to be we're about to encounter. So yeah, it's going to be cool. Like we said, globaldegenerates.com. Everyone individually got projects coming, and we have another music video with Uncle Luke dropping soon. So definitely keep on the lookout for that.
Okay. Thanks for your time, y'all.
Follow us.
Follow Super Graphic Magazine, bro. This is one of the first, bro. Like literally, like you keep this shit going, we're gonna be looking back at this like, oh yeah, it's crazy. You're gonna be
We're
like,
gonna be looking at this shit how niggas look at fucking video music box back in the day.
So yeah, shout out Super Graphic, bro.
What if we just stop this? Oh, you pressed the button.
These niggas out here loose. Nigga, you freeze, I'm cool. We going straight to the top, I won't stop till we do it.